Hi everyone, Sandy here. Today I am sharing my July project for Country Craft Creations for my design team package that I received using Prima's Christmas in the Country. This is made from an A4 paper pad and using some of the Prima flowers that go with that collection that you can order. This is a Prima closure, and I've used some seam binding ribbon and sheer ribbon from Country Craft Creations. So this turned out, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It has this closure on the front and this grouping of flowers and little poinsettias, ivies here on the front with this beautiful paper, and then it has a top spine. So this is a different orientation. It's not an album that opens to the side, it opens to the top. Here you can see the pages on the side. This is a tag album. I made a little charm piece here with jingle bells and gold snowflake charms that are also by Prima that you can order from Country Craft Creations. So as you see, that's how it looks on the side, and the back is a real pretty paper back here on the back as well. So to open this up, and it will stand up on a table like this. Let me slide this down. It will have a slight little angle here. That's okay. You can push it up till it's straighter, but it will stand. And then you just open up the front here, and it opens to the top. So pull this back and lay this back. This comes down. Now mine does not lay flat because I used a lot of thick embellishments, and that's how I wanted it. I used a lot of the flowers. It is a tag album, so each front page has a tag where you could put a smaller photo or some journaling on the back. I did the arrangements with the different ephemera pieces from the collection, the flowers. These are gold gemstones by Graphic 45, and I did use Wink of Stella to kind of add glitter to everything. This has a tag in the top, which is patterned on one side. You can put a photo on both sides, and there's 5 pages, and each page has this pocket for a tag. Now the album measures 6 inches wide, and with the top closed, it is 7.5 inches tall. And it does have a 3-inch spine on it. So let me open this back up. This is page 1. This flips back. All the back sides are plain, so that you can add a photo back here, and you can turn it around in reverse. And as I said, each page has a pocket on the front with the arrangement of flowers, chipboard pieces. This is some of the snowflakes charms from Prima, and each one has got a different pattern on the back. This one's a little tag, comes out of this little pocket here, and here's this one. This one does have a little tag in a belly band, and then another tag behind that. And there is a tutorial on this, on how to make the cover and the pages and the tags. So these were made with a die that I have. You can use any kind of punch or die that you might have. And here's a larger tag in this pocket. And then, of course, the back. And then there's room for pictures here on the inside cover, and as well as on the front cover. So this just pulls all together and closes like that. It does have magnetic closure, but it also has the latch to give it that little rustic country and the Christmas in the country look to it. So stay tuned for the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. To create this project, I am going to be using my Country Craft Creations designer package that I received for my July projects. I shared this in a separate haul video, but I just want to show you real quick, and then some add-ons that I purchased for myself. So I have here the Graphic 45 pearl gems that come in a package. Comes with silver, gold, and the black. And I also got the Prima snowflake charms in silver and gold. So that was in my design team package. Set those aside. And I got this pack of the large poinsettia flowers. These are beautiful. There's 3 in a package of these. All of these you can order from Country Craft Creations. I got the A4 package of the Christmas in the Country Prima paper pad. And these are really pretty, so I'm going to be using this in my project. I got 2 8.5 by 11 medium weight chipboard, which is really great for making your covers. And I got the seam binding ribbon in the red, the very pale, almost white pink color. And the moss green, as well as this pretty silvery sheer dotted ribbon. So these can all be ordered from Country Craft Creations. And then that is what was in my design package. And then I did some add-ons. So I'm definitely going to be using artisan cardstock, so I use it for all my projects. I have ordered a pack of the burgundy that I think works really well with this collection, so that's what I'm going to be using. And then as add-ons, I may or may not use all of these in the project. We'll see. I just wanted these because they are available at Country Craft Creations, and I just think they're really could be a great addition to any project, so I can make several things with these. I also got a 12 by 12 pad. I ordered that myself, but I will not be using that, so I'm not going to show that. So this is the journaling cards in the 4 by 6, so they match the paper collection. So you can see all the different patterns here. And then I also got the 3 by 4 journaling note cards, so there they are. With the patterns the way they come in the paper. And then I also ordered the matching chipboard stickers. I think these will be great for adding dimension to the project. So there's some on both sides of the package. Love the cow and the Santa butterfly. So lots of fun things on that. I also ordered, in addition to add to the snowflake charms, I got these Satan Crystals gemstones that match the collection. This is also Prima's Christmas in the Country. Check for all these on countrycraftcreations.com. They do sell out, but you might want to check and see what you can get for your projects. I have this Ephemera Pack. There's 42 pieces in this one. I'm not going to open them. I don't want to mix them up right now. And then I got the other one that has some little tags and some gold stars. The other one has gold stars as well. There's 34 in this Ephemera Pack that goes with that collection. And I also ordered some large basic gray magnetic discs. I'm going to need those. And then I kind of went overboard with flowers and things because I just love Prima's flowers, and I wanted to get some of all these because I might want different sizes. Like I said, I did get this one in my designer package, which is the 3 large poinsettias, but I really wanted this holly. That's really pretty. I got some Christmas roses in the small size, and then a mixture of poinsettias and roses in the different patterns in this pack. Smaller poinsettias. This one has different sizes in it. 2 large ones. So these all go together really well. These have the glitter on them, and then this package where they're more plain, and then the small glittery ones. So I'm all set with Christmas flowers. So you want to check out the website at countrycraftcreations.com and check out for your supplies that you might want for your holiday season. So that's it. We're going to get started on this tutorial. So stay tuned. To make your album cover, you need to cut your chipboard. I've already pre-cut mine. From the 2 8.5 by 11s, I cut 2 each 6 by 7s and 2 6 by 3s. And then I decided I wanted a flap over piece. So from scrap, I cut a 6 by 4. So if you're using an 8.5 by 11, you're going to need 2 pieces and then a piece of scrap where you can get your 6 by 4 cut out of it, or use 2 12 by 12 pieces of chipboard. Then you need 2 sheets of the cardstock. I'm using the Cranberry Artisan cardstock. And I cut 2 that are 7.5 by 12 and 1 that is 7.5 by 4.5, which leaves me a couple of pieces left over from those 2 sheets. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to seam these together. So you're going to use your art glitter glue, or if you want to use score tape, that's fine. I'm just going to do a line of glue right here along the 7.5 inch edge, and we're going to make a real long piece of paper here. So line these up on the sides. We're going to wrap this cover. So let me burnish this back side. Flip it back over. And we're going to add this shorter piece here on the end, right here. Now you're going to need your 1/4 inch score tape to make spacers. Now all this will not show in the screen on the camera, but I will try to move it so that you can see. So see how long we have this. So we're going to lay this here. And we're going to lay out our chipboard pieces. So we're going to have one down here. So I'm going to turn this around. I think it'll look better this way. Let's see. This is going to go this way. So you want your 6-inch down here at the bottom. So this one's going to go here. And then we have a 3-inch. And the big one, another 3-inch, and the 6 1/4, so we actually have more room. So I'm going to scoot this down because I want this, I want the seam in the middle. So let's start down here at the bottom where we have the 12-inch piece here at the bottom. So I'm going to move this all up. And I'm going to glue this about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. So line up my ruler on the 3/4 inch mark. I'm just going to eyeball this side to side. So we're going to put one 6 by 7 inch piece down. And I'm just using the art glitter glue. You can use the score tape sheets if you want, or score tape. And this is going to go right up against this ruler so it's straight. About 3/4 inches on each side. Now you want your 6-inch down here with the 7 running this way. Take your 1/4 inch score tape, and we're just going to put a piece right up against the chipboard to give us a spacer here. Now we're going to glue one of the 6 by 3s, and I'm going to use my ruler here on the side to make sure that I'm getting it on straight on one side here. So the glue on the back side. Now this is going to look different than your traditional album cover. Burnish that. Slide it down. We're going to put another 1/4 inch tape here. Take the other 6 by 7, it's going to go right there. Line up the ruler here. Just remember your 6-inch length here is going along the score tape here at the bottom. Slide it down and put my tape again right along that chipboard, giving me a 1/4 inch space. I want the second 6 by 3 right here. Get this positioned. Okay. Excuse me. And now the last 6 by 4, and it will fit so that the seam is not right on the edge. So this is another piece of tape. Okay, there's all of our chipboard glued down. Now all we need to do is trim this right here. So I'm going to grab my trimmer. And I want to trim down to 3/4 of an inch. So this is 2 inches. So I'm going to cut 1 1/4 inches off, thereabouts. Okay. And there we go. So we have one long cover piece. Now, you could make your album go this way, but we're going to do it different. We're going to go a different way. So let's cut paper to cover these inside sections here before we wrap, I think. Now let's go ahead and wrap the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and peel all this tape backing off on the inside here. Now I am going to use score tape simply because this is so big and long. So I'm going to grab my 3/8 inch tape and I'm going to put it along the edge, cut edge of this long sides, almost to the end, but not quite. Now let's burnish all that so that it sticks down good. Now we're going to fold these up against the chipboard. Excuse me, the allergies working on me right now. Okay, now we're going to miter the corners. So let's grab our little scissors and slide this down so you can see. I'm going to trim it and leave about 1/16 of an inch from the tip of the chipboard. I'm just cutting at an angle on all 4 corners. Okay, so now I'm ready to wrap one long edge here. Got it all pulled. I'm going to pull this tape backing off just one side. I'm working on each long side first. And I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to put it along the edge of the chipboard, right on the edge. All the way down the length. And then I'm going to add some where there's no tape. I normally just use glue on this step, but I'm using score tape and glue because the score tape will help me get that to stay stuck down. I'm going to burnish that. And we also want to burnish here into the score tape spacing on each space right there. Stick that down in there. Okay, so turn it. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Now we're ready to do the ends. So go ahead and take your score tape backing off. And where the fold of this top one here, side one, long one here, extends over the chipboard end, I want you to push this in, that extra piece of that's coming from that fold on each side. Right here. You can do it with your fingernail, your bone folder, just something. Press that in. And get your glue. Bring this over, and it should match up really good there on the corners. Burnish that. So we need a little more cut right there. Not much. There we go. Burnish that corner there. Okay, that gives you a really nice mitered corner. So do the other side the exact same way. Okay, so there's our cover wrapped. It's going to go like this. So now we need to cover the spine sections here. So we're going to cut some cardstock for that. From one of the 4.5 inch wide pieces left over from wrapping the cover, you have one of these. You're going to turn it, and you're going to cut at 5 7/8. Cut 2 of these. You're going to take score tape because that's what's going to help hold it down really good. So we're going to cover the back of both of these with score tape. So this one covered, do the exact same thing to the second piece. To make sure it sticks down really well, I'm going to run a line of tape along each space onto the chipboard. I don't want the spine cover paper to buckle, so that's why I'm doing this extra score tape, just to make sure, especially where it folds. Burnish those down. So you're going to peel off the tape backing off of all of this and off of both pieces. Okay, so take your cover. Now this is, excuse me, 6 inches here. This is 5 7/8. So you're going to center this side to side. You want equal amounts on each side, almost to the edge. So you've got about a 1/16 of an inch on each side. So burnish this down. Make sure it really sticks down, top and bottom, and run that bone folder through the fold there so that you can let this stick down into that score tape, spacer score tape. That. Make sure this is really flat. So do the other side the same way. You have both of them on. Now you're going to want to gently work with your cover burnishing with the rounded edge of a bone folder, not a sharp one point, but gradually work it up so that it starts to fold. And you'll do this on all 4 fold lines. Bring it up and bring it over. And this, with the artisan cardstock, will give you a nice fold on the edges here, the fold lines, and it will not crack. So then this is your album, like this. So it's going to open upwards. So we're going to go ahead and put a couple of magnet snaps right here to hold this cover closed. So let's open it up. So on this 6x4 piece, I have 2 sets. I put the 2 together. Got your minus on one side, your plus on the other side. So this is your adhesive part. So I'm just going to peel the backing off on just one side. And I'm going to put it about 3/4 of an inch from the top and each edge. There. Now then peel the tape backing off. Put the magnets attached to each other. We're going to bring this together, line it up so that it's square, and make sure they attach down. Carefully separate them, and there's your magnets. So now you want to take some score tape and put score tape on each magnet. When you have your magnets on, your front should come at a point here on the front where there's about 3 inches from the end of the flap to the base of the album. And when it's attached and standing, there's going to be like a slight angle. So this is going to kind of slide down. It would straighten up like that, but I'm going to have it going like an angle like that. Okay, so now we're ready to do the pages, and I think I am going to put like some kind of metal closure here. I haven't decided, so that will be done before you add any pattern paper. So we'll set the cover aside, and we're going to grab our scoreboard. And let's go ahead and get the paper that I have pre-cut. So for the pages, we're going to do 5 pages. So I've already done a couple of them. But we're going to cut out 5 that are 6.5 by 5.5. 6.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score the 6.5 inch side at just a 1/2 inch. This is creating the hinge here on each page. So I've already done 2 of them. I'll go ahead and do the other 2 with you. So I have a total of 5. 6.5 inch at the top, score at a 1/2 inch. And again. So these are the base pages. Now we're going to make photo sleeves or pocket sleeves that attach to the top. So I have cut 5 that are 6 by 6.5, and I'm going to score at a 1/2 inch. Put the 6.5 inch again at the top here, score at a 1/2 inch, and at 6. If you wanted to just, if it's easier for you to put it in 6.5 inch, score 1/2 inch, and turn and score 1/2 inch, you can do that as well, as long as you have a 1/2 inch score on each side. of that 6.5 inch side. So again, I'm putting mine in at 6.5. I'm scoring it a 1/2 inch and add 6. I went off there just a little bit, so I've got that showing where I went off, and I'm going to just take, with this artisan cardstock, I'm just take my bone folder and I'm going to rub that score line down where I didn't want it. It works really well that way, and it's going to be covered with pattern paper. So I have the real score line where I want it. So you can barely see it now. Okay? So the last one, 1/2 inch, and add 6. Okay, so we're ready to put these together. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold and burnish my 1/2 inch hinge. I'm going to go ahead and do it both directions to make sure that it's going to fold good, like that. And to create the page, we're going to score here on this photo sleeve, pocket sleeve. I don't know why I keep saying photo sleeve. It's a page pocket sleeve. Fold them both down the same direction so that they're facing each other. You're going to grab this. You can do it on either side you want to, but you're going to line it up so that it's even. You're going to put glue on this flap, the 2 flaps on the 1/2 inch hinge side. And then you want to put a line of glue along the edge where the hinge fold is, not over the fold. So I'm going to put this in like this. Whoops. And you're going to attach it down on the fold side. Make sure you line it up square all the way around, both sides. Burnish that. So you're sealing the top of this part here, this bottom here, and this very bottom towards the hinge. So what you're going to have is this hinge is free, like that, so that it flips and turns. So just like that. So that is one page already done. We're going to do all of them the same. And I'm going to go ahead and speed up this video so we don't take up a lot of time. I'll go through one more with you though before I do. So I'm burnishing both the score lines so that the hinges face each other. Take one base page, and I'm going to show you, it might be easier for you if you do it toward the hinge like this. So I've lifted my hinge back. I'm going to put my line of glue right here along the bottom edge, not over the fold line, and then on each 1/2 inch section of the hinge, I'm going to attach this down so that you've got it even here on the bottom. Make sure it's lined up, top and bottom, and right here on the edge. And there is another page done. So again, you're going to do all of them the same. So I'll do the rest of them speeded up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cover the outside of the album, and then I will decide on a closure. So I've pre-cut my papers, and I'm using the one piece that has the Santa on it for the front here and the top, and then I wanted the map here on the bottom and then on the back. So I've already cut all these. So you measure and cut like I've measured, and they all are 5 7/8 is what I'm going to cut mine out. And then the height. So the first one here, and I did ink the edges lightly with this potion, Color Philosophy potion, which is a dark gray color. So I just used my ink pad and lightly ink all the edges. This, and then I'm going to attach with art glitter glue. So here on the very top, I'm going to put this one with a bit of roses here on the side. I'll go ahead and use my glue. And I'm going to speed this up. So when you pattern yours, choose your papers and then see where you want the patterns, images to be, and kind of mark with a tick mark with your pencil, and then cut it to fit. So like this one's going to go right here. And I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video, and always burnish to make sure it sticks down really good. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up now. Okay, so there's the outside patterned. We've got the back here, this top, the Santa continues on to the top, and then this map pattern down here, and then some roses on the bottom. So now I'm ready to pick out a closure. I'm going to use a Prima latch that I have in my stash that I received from Country Craft Creations on an earlier design team package that I just hadn't used yet, but I think this will be perfect for it. So I've taken this piece. Now I'm not sure if I want it this latch here or like this, so I haven't really decided yet, but they're going to fit the same. So I centered it, and I have marked 2 holes, the places for the 2 holes, and I am going to take, I think, a brad piercing tool, and I am just going to poke a hole right there through the chipboard best I can. This doesn't really want to work very well. The reason is, I'm just going to kind of drill it in. When I use a hole puncher with these small brads, sometimes the hole's too big and it makes it loose. So I want to keep the hole that I'm punching in as small as I possibly can. There we go. So I'm going to put this one on first, I think. And this is just temporary. I can put glue under it after I have decided. I'm just going to put the brads in, see how it fits the other way, and then decide if I need to reverse it. So I'm going to open up these brad prongs here on the back. Make sure it stays in tight. It's right here. And turn them. I like to keep them going same direction as the edge here. So there's that one. So now I'm going to bring this over. And the magnets are going to help keep it in place. And this is more for just decorative. So line it up. And This has got to be straight. And mark the holes. Okay. It may be that it needs to go the other way, I don't know. You open this up, and we'll go ahead and drill these holes in. And so you always want to, if you're attaching your latch, you're going to have to do this before you do any patterning of the inside. So then this will go here. And it doesn't matter, these prongs, you can do them any direction because they're kind of in the center. Okay, so open that up. I will secure them better after I'm sure this is the direction they need to be. Okay, I will decide. Do I want it coming the other way or this way? So I'll think about that. Let you know my decision. Okay, for my closure piece, I decided to put this swing at the top and the hook at the bottom. So I'm going to take these off and use some glue to attach them down tighter. I've already got them on the holes drilled. We did that earlier in the video. So go ahead and I'm going to open these, loosen these up, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down into that. I'm going to drop this in. So I'm going to pull these off for right now. And grab my glue. I'm going to go ahead and use art glitter glue because I think it works just great. I'm going to put some in the hole the brads go, and then some on this back section. Lay these over it and just attach this down. Then I'm going to use the brads. So you'll do this on both pieces. Make sure that you line it up, whatever closure you're using. Line it up so that it works correctly. I have my 5 base pages made with the pocket sleeve already attached, and I want a tag to go inside each. So I need to cut. You need to cut if you want these 6 3/4 by 5 1/4 across. I've already done one. So depending on what you have, I have this Sizzix topper die that I'm going to use on mine. I've already cut out one, and what I do is I just line it up very carefully, put a bit of washi tape on it to hold it, and then run it through my die machine. So this is going to depend on what you have to cut. You can just round the corners, or you can add a tab on the top for yours. So what it does is it fits inside like this, and it's going to stick up just enough. You don't want it sticking out more than 3/4 of an inch, so that it doesn't touch the top of your album here on the top side. So that's how you make a tag for that. Or like I said, you can just cut it this size and then add a tab thing to it. So if you do that, you may have to adjust the size. So see how it sticks out too far? So that's too far. You're going to want to trim it down so that it fits inside and only sticks out to the same as even as this. So you would want to cut yours down to 6 inches in length instead of the 6 3/4. And then you would attach some type of tab on the end. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of mine, and then I'll have that ready to go and get ready to decorate it. Now that I have the metal closures on where I want them and attached down permanently, I'm ready to pattern the inside of my album cover. And so you're going to cover this first section, this big section here, over the brads. We have them there. If you want to put a little bit of score tape over there, over these, that's a good idea. That gives extra adhesive there and kind of secures them down. So you're going to want a piece here, and I'm going to use this pretty wood look paper, and you want to cut this one to be about 5 7/8 by 6 7/8. So this is going to fit right in here so that it doesn't go into the fold. This is where the pages will attach, and I'm going to go ahead because I want to keep this kind of flowing continually here. I'm putting these 2 little scraps here on each end. It doesn't, these are about 1.5 inches wide this way because the pages are going to sit here on it, so you're not going to see all that. But I just want the very ends, so these are 3 inches by 1.5. And then you want another large piece, same size as this one for here, that is 5 7/8 by 6 7/8. I did ink all the edges with the potion color ink, the dark gray. Then you want one that is 2 7/8 by the 5 7/8. That goes in this section here, and in the very, very back, let me slide this down, the very, very back one right here, I'm going to use this print with the Santa, and it is 5 7/8 wide by 4 inches tall. Pay attention to your direction. This book is going to be opening this way versus the other way. So you want your pattern to be all one long piece. So this is why this works really well, and then this final one here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these all down. And make sure you pull the backing off your score tape if you put it over your brads. Peel that off real quick. And go ahead and get this stuck down. Okay, so there's our cover on the inside. This is ready for the spine, for the pages. I may need another strip of paper here once I put them in, but for now this is ready. So I am going to be cutting the papers for my album pages and doing those outside of the cover. On this one I normally put them in the book and then do them, but for this one I think I'm going to do it outside. I am not going to do it all in real time on the video. I may speed it up, or I may actually skip through and just show you what I've done to save some time on the video. So to pattern these, to cut the papers, you're going to want all of them to be, I believe, 5 3/8 wide. 5 3/8 wide by 5 7/8 tall. Again, you're going to need to pay attention to the direction. Remember, this will be where the page is in the book. So this will be the top. And so you want your pattern image to go in the proper directions. So for example, if you were to use this particular pattern, this one's too small, but you would want to make sure that your Santa is going up and down with the tag at the top versus side to side for this particular album. So I'm going to cut all my papers, and then I'll decide how much of it I'm going to show you on the tutorial, and then I'll definitely show you how to put these pages in the book before we finish decorating. I have all the pages patterned, front and the back, and again, since it's going in the book this way with the hinges toward the front, this is my front side, so the directional papers are here on the front with the tops of them here at the top where the tag is, and then the non-directional plain papers are on the back. Now for decorating, I'm going to go ahead and do this album outside of the cover, and then I will show you how to add the pages in at the end of, after I'm finished with all this. This decorating does take time. I'm going to show you some of it in a fast-forwarded speed so you can skip through that if you want to decorate on your own. These papers are really beautiful. They don't really need a lot of decorating if you don't want to do that. Some pages I will. I think I may leave these blank on the back for pictures. So this is going to be up to you, your decorating. So I'm going to be fast-forwarding through that. I have pulled out all my different flowers. I keep a basket of all the things I'm going to use beside me. So I've opened up all my ephemera packs and looking through those and my flowers and laid out. So I'm ready to start working on my first page. So I'm going to go ahead and just let the camera run, and I'll speed it up in the video, and we'll show you how to put these pages in at the very end when I'm ready. I've decided to add in a little twine bow right here underneath one of the roses. So I'm going to pull this up and add some glue for the bow. Stick it in there, right there. And then I'm going to add a large, right on the center of the bow, one of these large gemstones in gold. Stick that right there. Push that down. And then from the Ephemera Packs, this pretty gold snowflakes. Now it's not a sticker, so I'm putting the dabs of glue on the back. Just like that. I'm going to stick that right there. This is a tag that comes in and out of this little pocket that I made. This is the front side of the page. This will be the back. I am going to leave this plain on all of my pages. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the tag for this first one. I've cut out my paper, and I measured from here to the bottom curve and then rounded the corners. So this pattern piece is 5 1/8 wide by 4 1/2, and I'm probably going to mostly use the plain paper, and so you do want to ink that. So I've already done that on most of mine, so I'm just going to ink it a little bit more here. Okay, so this is going to glue down on one side of the tag insert. So I'm going to put my glue here. I just wanted to show you how I'm going to be doing mine. And I like this plain paper here. And I am not patterning this top. But from my scraps, I did cut a strip that is the same width. So it's 5 1/8 wide by 3/4 tall. So I just kind of want to put a little bit of a border there. Kind of makes it look like a, sort of like a gift box. So I'm going to put this glue on this and touch that down. And it is sideways, but I don't care. I just like that pretty print there. Burnish that down. And then, here in the very top, in the center, I'm not going to put a hole. You could put a hole and put a ribbon, but I'm just going to add one of these gold gemstones, just like that. So that's the tag. If you want to decorate the back of yours or add pattern paper, depending on how much paper you have, you could do that. I'm going to leave mine plain, photos, and what you do, this will go down inside like this. Make sure it goes all the way down. Oops, it's hanging right there. Didn't glue it good. Okay, so that top part sticks out with that gemstone on there. So that is page 1, which will be ready to put into the album. I'm going to go ahead off camera, decorate, add pattern papers, and decorate all of my pages, which I have 4 more remaining. I think because this is a tag book, I'm going to put a little pocket on all of them and create a tag for each one. So I will show you when it's all finished and kind of explain what I did. But to save time, I am not going to do this on camera. Okay, so I have all the pages decorated and all the tags ready. I have a few more things I want to do. I'm going to show you before we put these in the album. Okay, from my scraps, I cut 4.5 by 4.5 photo mats. So I have, looks like I have about 10. So I'm going to line these up, and I'm using my stub. Mine's a stub and a deco. I'm going to use the stub side, so you see where it says the words. That's what you want. You put your paper in on that side. They come like this. They're flat. You open up both wings. Now mine open up together when I pull on one. But you want to make sure they both open. I have removed the door off of mine, so mine looks different. I removed the door. This is where the little cut-off pieces are. And so if you have the door on, you're going to have to open it frequently to dump that out so it will cut even. So you turn it so that the side, the stub side is what I want, is on top. And you can do more than one cardstock at a time. I have 4 in this stack. I'm going to stick it in. See, the corner of my paper goes all the way in so that, and these are open, the straight edge of this is up against this, and the straight edge of the other one is up against the other side, and you just squeeze, and it does a punch. Then I dump mine out because I don't have the door on. So go ahead and you do that on all 4 sides if you want of what you're punching out. One more. So they're really easy to use, and they will go through chipboard. So I have 3 in this stack, so I'm going to quickly, and you're not going to mess up if you put your paper all the way in. You line it up as long as your little doors are open. See, this is closed. Open them both up all the way until they stop. Mine's older. Yours may have a click sound. You may have to do one at a time, but you do want them both open so that your paper fits in correct. I'm just lining this one up better, and there we go. All of them are punched. Got a stub punch on all of them. I dump out all my little clippings. That's why I don't have the door on. I just don't like the door. So I took mine off a long time ago, kept them for a while, and then finally threw my doors away. Okay, so we have that done, and these are going to go in the pockets, or in with the tags. So you're going to might want to use these on the back. So I'm going to lay these aside for right now because I'm not going to attach them on, but you have them if you want them. Then the other thing you might want to do is take your Wink of Stella, and in certain places on flowers, or like the butterfly, I'm just painting on a little bit of glitter here on my stocking where the red is. You can't probably see it very good in the camera, but it does just give a touch of glitter to different elements on your paper. Let me see if it shows up any at all. Right there, maybe you can probably see. Butterfly is really shiny. So I'm going to do that on all of mine, on different places, not everywhere. like here on this butterfly a little bit. Maybe here the berries. Probably these roses, some here. And this wreath, I just paint around it, and the roses on the deer. So that's number 2. Page 3, and I'll go over these real quick and show you what I've done for decorating. So I'm going to put some here on this butterfly and on this ribbon. It's just a little touch of glitter. Not a whole lot, not real thick. Let's see, on this one I think on Santa's. I'll pull this out and do Santa's suit. A little bit. And his hat. Those are already gold on that, so I'm going to let that lay right there and dry. And then this one, I love these flowers, so I'm going to put some on the flowers. These are like a Christmas lily. Some on the roses. And right here on Santa's hat, maybe his beard even. Okay, so let that dry real quick, and then I'm going to start with number 1 and show you. So this is the first one that I did with you on camera. I just layer it up. Each one has a tag on the front, and then of course the tags are all going to be this done the same but with different pattern papers. So I'll pull them out a little bit so you can see them. This one does, I need to put some glue right there on that corner where it's catching. So check yours to make sure they're all doing it. So number 2, I layered up, I used one of the ephemera cards for the pocket, made a tag. I tied on with biker's twine a bow, and then I tied on some of those Prima snowflake charms in gold. I added one here to the chipboard, the 25, and I did cut the little circle off so that it would just be the snowflake there. Layered up some of the flowers, some seam binding ribbon that I crinkled up, cut aparts, 2, 3, it doesn't really matter which direction they go. That's the last one. This one here is number 3. Again, some of the cut aparts, chipboard butterfly, flowers, some twine, ribbon, and a tag. There's always a tag here. And like I said, this is usually matches what's on the back. So right there, like that. And this will be number 4. So I made a little tag out of one of the cut aparts of the Santa and the reindeer. I tied on some little jingle bells here on the end. Made a loopy bow here with one of the stars from the Ephemera Pack. And then I made a little belly band and added one of the gold Prima snowflake charms where I cut the ring off, and this just tucks down underneath, so this hangs down. And then we also have a tag here in the top, like that. Flowers, finish that off. And then this one, I made a pocket all the way across, so this is where I can put in some extra photo mats. I'm not going to be able to put all 10, but I'm just going to put a few in here, like this. And then I'm going to save the rest because they will, like I said, go on the back. See, like you can mat one here on the back and one each one. So I like how that turned out. And so you can also put photo mats here on your front side of your pocket, and that one matches there. This tag comes out here. I used a chipboard Santa, chipboard Christmas time, and just layered up different layers of stuff. So this one matches here with that on the back, right there. Okay, so now we're ready to put these into our book cover. Line them all up. Like I said, they can go in any order, however you want them to look. Let me see if that one's ready to go down. Okay, so let's grab the cover. So I already have mine opened up. Pay attention to the directions. So this is obviously the front, and we've got the image going the correct direction. Let me pull out a little bit here so we can see what we're doing. So this part that's not totally covered is the spine section. And I planned it so I have a 3-inch spine for 5 pages with half-inch space. Half-inch space on the front as well as on the back. So this one I'm going to fold the hinge to the back. This is the front side. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to look at this. No, I'm sorry. I want my hinge to the front. That's correct. So that gives me my placement. I'm going to put the cut edge of this hinge right along the fold line here. You don't want to go into your fold line. You want to keep it away from it. So this will give me a 1/2 inch from the front of my book. I line it up right there where that cut paper is. And then I want it about a 1/4 inch top and bottom. So I'm going to take my glue. So I'm going to turn this hinge this way and put glue on the bottom of it. You can use score tape if you want to. And this is going to sit, and I'm looking at it to make sure right on the edge here, and about this equal amount from the top and the bottom. I'm going to burnish this down. So this gives me a 1/2 inch from my actual page to where my book closes. Right in here. So burnish this really well to get it stuck down. And what we'll do is we'll finish this with strips of paper once we get everything in there. Now then, you lay this one down. You've got the fold here. You're going to butt up this 1/2 inch right up against the fold and make sure they're even on the top and the bottom. So again, the glue goes on the bottom of the hinge. Page 2, right towards the fold of the first page. Line up bottom on both sides. There's no top and bottom on this. Burnish here in the gusset area. Get a good burnish in there and make sure that glue sticks. It doesn't take long for that to grab. And flip it forward. Page 3. Same way, we're going to put it on the bottom side of the hinge. Up straight. This is a really easy binding. Make sure it's lined up straight. It should all line up. Burnish this one in. We got 2 more to go. Now, because of the way this is made with the thickness of my embellishments, it is not going to lay flat, and I'm okay with that. If you want them to lay flatter, don't put thick embellishments on your books. So again, on the bottom of this, the glue. There we go. Round it up. And we have one more. There should be plenty of room. Now there will be extra room from this back side, and that's okay. It always ends up with a little extra room there. Back side of this hinge, and we will cover any area that's exposed. Back there, this lines this up. Okay, so it lays down like that. And like I said, it will not lay flat because of the thick embellishments that I wanted to use in mine. So it goes flip through like that. And then this closes up. And you can see your pages on the side. And now we're ready to finish the inside parts where we glue this down. So I'm going to cut all those out of scraps of paper, and then we'll glue those down. Okay, so I've cut my pieces of paper. I took a scrap of paper and cut it down. Probably about a 3-inch piece of paper, and cut it down to 5.5 because I wanted the width of the page, which is 5.5, and it's going to fit right there. Then cut it in continuous strips that are like 3/8 of an inch. I looked at each section, about 3/8 to 1/2 inch. So this one's 3/8. So I'm going to put glue on it. And I cut enough to go between each page. And the very last one is wider. So I'm just going to line this up with the page here at the top and the bottom. And then within the folds, you don't want to go over any of the folds. Burnish that in. There. So this one, I've got them laying in here where they go as I cut them. That one's 3/8 also. It just kind of gives a finished look to your album. So right here, that one's also 3/8. And this one was 3/8, cut 3/8. You cut it at 3/8, it fits right in that 1/2 inch space without going over the fold lines. And the very last one is the one that you're going to need wider. And this one's at 3/8 also. And as you see, this one's wider, so it actually ended up being cut it at, oops, wrong direction here, 5/8. So it's wider. It's even wider than the 1/2 inch. It's about 1/8 of an inch wider than a 1/2 inch space there. So I'm going to. So I could have put this wider at the front, but it's still going to work out just fine. So line this up with the page and not over your fold lines. And then burnish that down. There, go. Make sure it's straight and burnish. So that's the inside finish. Now, so you can also put a photo here. So these extra mats will come in handy at different places. And so that's the inside finished. Just like that. And then this pulls up, and so I'm ready to decorate the front. If you like it plain just like this, you can do that. See if it sits at a slight angle. No, you can't see that when it's sitting, but it will sit up like that on your table. So if you want to add ribbon and flowers, you can go ahead and do that, which I probably will here on the top somewhere or here on this front side. And then I'll finish this up. For my album cover, I have wrapped a piece of the sheer silver ribbon, kind of a snowy gray, silvery looking ribbon with the sheer dots that you can order from Country Craft Creations. I wrapped it around the upper spine, tied it in a knot, and then cut the ends off this length, probably a couple of inches. And then I glued the poinsettias that I received in my design team kit here and here. And then I added some of the holly that I purchased extra, some of the roses, the Prima roses. These are all from the Christmas in the Country collection. They are available at Country Craft Creations, and then some more flower rose here and here. So I kind of made a, where it goes across the top here and then down the front, like that. And so next I want to add some jingle bells and some of the snowflake charms. And I'm going to have them hanging on this right side only. So I have taken button twine, and I cut a piece, 3 pieces about, let's see here, where's my ruler? These are about, so that I could tie them, about 16 inches each. And then I tied a bell on each end of this one, a bell and a snowflake on the end of this one. This one's a little bit shorter probably, and then 2 snowflakes on the end of this one. And what you want to do is you want to stagger these. So I want the jingle bell shorter on this one. And I hold the loop up here, and you just pull it to where you want the length. You don't want them side by side. You want them a little extra length here. So these are the 2 jingle bells. So I'm going to make them about like that. See, so all of them are not together, and then the 2 snowflakes. Now one of them is the same length as a jingle bell, or almost, but that's fine. So I have my loops up here, and then I'm just going to take it and tie all of them into one knot. And then bring it closer to the end up here at the top, because I want it to hang down on this right side, not all the way down. So I'm just tying a good knot. Now, when I tie these here on the end, I also like to take my art glitter glue, and I tie 2 knots. But to make sure it doesn't come loose, I like to put just a little dab of glue on each knot and let that dry. Because it's hard to tie them back if they come loose once you've cut it. So once I cut it, then I take just a little bit of glue, and this dries clear, and I work it into the knot. Okay, I'm going to let these dry. And I've also got some seam binding ribbon. I've got the red and the green that I've gotten ready to tie onto my album spine here at the top. Taken a piece of the crinkled up red seam binding ribbon that I spritzed with water. I have a mister that I spritzed it with water, and then I dried it, crinkled it up, and dried it with my heat gun. And now it's dry. I've wrapped it underneath here over the sheer ribbon, pulled it through between these flowers, and then I'm tying it in a knot so that I have about the length of the album here on one piece, and then the other I will trim. So I'm just going to tie a knot, tie a really good knot right here on the edge. Like that. I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to cut them off about the same length. And then I have extra, so I want some more. I'm just going to poke this under. I'm not wrapping this again. I'm poking it under and pulling it through. Now, if you have different colors, I didn't have enough of the green, so I decided to save it for another project. And I've used all the light pink also. So pull this up here and tie another knot. And you can tie a couple of knots if you want to make sure it's really secure. That, and then I'm going to trim these off. They don't have to be exact. And then I like to tie a knot in the end of each seam binding ribbon piece, the very end, so that it doesn't fray all the way up, but it's okay if it frays right there on the end, and trim that off. Do all 4 of these. Tie a knot. It can be different lengths. And one more. Okay, so now we have our charm piece that we need to attach. Now, you can do this several ways. You can pin it in here with a little gold safety pin, or you can glue this knot down into this center of the other knot. I think I am going to pin mine, so I need to go grab a little safety pin. So I have a little gold safety pin. I think I got this one from as a Tim Holtz, but you can also get these in your sewing department if you want the shinier gold. This is kind of the brass color. So I'm going to run this pin part into the knot. This is just one of several ways of attaching charm piece. I want to leave my little loop sticking up, and I'm going to pin it into the knot, behind the knot, I think. Let's see how it looks. Behind the knot, into the seam binding ribbon. And then you close the clasp on it. Okay, and then we've got that right there. And I'm going to do the loops kind of loose like this, like a bow. I may add some more in there, kind of like that right there. And then I have these charms hanging down. Okay, that pretty much concludes this tutorial on how to make this little tag album. If you can see, there is a slant. The lid slants to help this to stand up, so it's more slanted to the front and then the back, so this would look really pretty on a table or a mantle. And that's it. That's how to make a little tag album. And keep your extra photo mats for where you want to put them in your book. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you check the online store for Country Craft Creations for this paper collection. This is the Prima Christmas in the Country. This is the A4 paper that I used. This is the Cranberry Artisan cardstock. These are the different Prima's flowers that are available with this collection. If you want the 12 by 12 paper, that's also available, and it does have the gold foil in it. Also check out the different ephemera packs that you might want to use, chipboard stickers, and the ribbons. This is the sheer ribbon and the seam binding ribbon, all at Country Craft Creations, and of course your art glitter glue. Thanks so much for watching again. If you haven't, please subscribe, and also click on that bell so that you'll receive a notification of my next project. Thanks. Bye-bye.